The driving rationale behind the Perth USAsia Centre is that Australia has an extremely important role to play in the Asia Pacific, given its geographical location, given its economic interest, and its political security and economic role in the region more broadly. That role is something that is done in very close cooperation with its longtime ally, the United States. And so the Perth USAsia Centre in every way is an outgrowth of the U.S. Studies Centre at the University of Sydney, the good work they've done on the bilateral U.S.-Australia relationship. Perth is a unique city. The economic centre of gravity in Australia has been shifting gradually westward for quite a while, driven by the resources that are there in Western Australia, whether it be iron ore or coal or natural gas now. But Perth itself is a city that in growth and vibrancy sees itself increasingly as an Asian city. One of the conferences we're going to be doing in the coming months is called In the Zone, an ongoing conference done by the University of Western Australia. And the concept is quite remarkable. It's that after 150 years of looking latitudinally and seeing itself as a poor country outpost of the eastern seaboard cities, Perth has recognized if they shift their focus northward and look longitudinally, that they are in the same time zone as Singapore and Hong Kong and Beijing, and that they are in every respect an Asian city where their economic future and their economic present lies. One is that strategic triangle between Australia, Asia, and the United States, and that includes, of course, trade, security, sea lanes of communication. You can come up with a whole range of issues. A second focus is closely related to the first, and that is a focus on the resource, energy, environment issues that are incumbent given the tremendous disposition of Western Australia in those areas. Of course, that discussion will be tightly related to the first, because if you look just at the iron sector or the oil or the natural gas sector, this is an area where Asia provides a very important market for all of these products, but the investment coming into that sector has come from the United States, and the underlying infrastructure for that trade is one where the alliance between Australia and the United States has helped provide the sea lanes of communication and other things that are necessary for it to go forward. If you look at Australia, the United States, and Canada, there's a remarkable similarity in narratives, and that all three countries have had English colonial starts. There have been an eastern seaboard of cities which tend to be more Euro-focused, at least relatively, and a resource-rich western region that has its own kind of perspectives, unique perspectives, and at least in recent years, which has been relatively more focused upon Asia. So whether it's Vancouver, Seattle, San Francisco, or Perth, we think there's lessons to be learned and areas to be cooperated in this notion of comparative West. I'm delighted to be in a city that has a deep understanding of the mission and the narrative of the Perth USAsia Centre. I spent 21 years in Washington, D.C., where the vast majority of political time, real political capital, is spent focused on domestic policy issues. The 53rd attempt to repeal Obamacare, whatever it is. And among maybe 20% of the president and the Congress's time focused on foreign policy, of course, the Middle East just sucks all the energy out of the room. So I kind of felt like one of the relatively few prophets crying in the wilderness, trying to get the city and the political class to pay attention to Asia, to be interested in Asia, to support our work on Asia, financially of course, and to come to the city of Perth, where the University of Western Australia is so clearly focused on Asia. The Vice Chancellor of the University, Paul Johnson, has a tremendous vision for the university and its role in Australia, but also in the region writ large. The political class in the city and the business community in the city, all on a deep level, understand that narrative and the importance of Asia. So that's refreshing. The notion that I'm in that type of environment, I think, bodes well for the future of the Perth USAsia Centre.